Hey guys, what's up? So I know I said that every Monday I would be releasing a video, but I'd really like to release one now, and that is because I've been saying that I would review this knife, and I still haven't for you guys. So we're gonna do that right now for you. The SOG panel. You know what? Just let me turn on my big light, and that way we can see better. Okay, so I've been saying for a while now, since I got this knife, that I'd review it. I actually tried to make a video several times, but it wasn't that good, so I deleted it. But we're here now, and I don't care what quality the video this is, I just want to get this review out there. Now, this is an excellent knife. I do not disagree that it warrants a very good review, but considering I've slacked off on reviewing it so much, I just kind of want to get it out of the way. So, here we are. The SOG demo. Now, this is a modern reproduction of a very rare knife that was used by U.S. Special Forces Team MAC-V during the Vietnam War. This knife here is not one of the knives used in Vietnam. It is a replica, however, of a field-worthy, workable replica. I'm personally not going to take this outside and muck it up, but if you were to buy it, if you wanted to, it will withstand that. It is made to actually be used. Like I said, I'm personally not going to use it because I don't want to muck it up. But this is a modern reproduction, 100% accurate replica as to the original Vietnam knife that was used by MAC-V SOG teams in Vietnam. Now, you'll notice the knife says SOG on it. If you're not aware of SOG knives, this is a different company. This is not the military outfit that served in Vietnam called MAC-V SOG. This is a modern-day knife company called SOG Specialty Knives that essentially took the same name. But back in the Vietnam War, SOG stood for Special Observations Group or something. I had it on my head and it slipped. Special Observations Group, I believe. And what's really nice about that logo is that it's actually embossed onto the handle. It is raised, the letters are raised, and you can feel it. Okay, so let's start off with the sheath. It looks to be leather. It feels like a cheap leather. It doesn't really smell as much of a leather as, let's say, the K-Bar, whose sheath smells a lot like real leather. Sorry, I'm getting all tongue-tied here. So, perhaps this is leather, perhaps it's what I know to be called pleather, which is like a fake leather. But nonetheless, it does look very nice, and it does give it a very classic, retro, badass feel to it, like something your grandfather would have carried should he had served in Vietnam. Now, on the front of the sheath, you notice there's a pouch, there's a white block in here. This is a soft Arkansas stone. I have used it so far. I can't really tell if it worked because the knife is already razor sharp. But, you know, maybe in the future, we'll see. Maybe we can test it on a dull knife. But to be honest, I really don't want to muck it up. I don't even want to mess up the sharpening stone because it's such a beautiful package that you receive here. I don't want to mess up any part of it. I don't want to alter any of it. I just want to keep it as so. But, for the sake of the video, we will open it. Now, it uses these plastic buttons. Sadly, they're not real metal. Hold on, I gotta undo this strap. Fold that back. Take the knife out first. Okay, so here's the stone. Little rectangular 3-inch stone. 3 by 1 inch or whatever. As you see it does have streak marks on it, as I already have used it. But I don't want to muck it up too much. So that's the stone itself. And from my understanding is that with sharpening stones, I'm not too familiar with them, but I have tried using them before, and I always soak them in water first. If I'm wrong about that, or if I'm right, please leave something in the comments telling me, because I've watched plenty of sharpening videos and I still can't get it. I still can't figure it out. You know, I'm stupid in that category. Yeah, so sheath comes with the sharpening stone. And for where the knife goes, it is also a plastic cross button snap. I really like these kind of cross straps that go around the cross guard of the knife itself. And another thing I like about the sheath is it has this very generous belt loop. That's about a 3-inch belt loop there. So, like, I have a U.S. Army surplus duty belt, and it would probably fit through there, which is nice because it makes sense. Why carry a military knife on a leather belt you'd wear with a suit, you know? Okay, so now we're going to get on to the knife. The knife itself. Look at that, baby. Look at that. Serrated back blade, fully sharpened. It's a drop point style knife. SOG demo right there on the blade. Just this nice black titanium color, absolutely beautiful. Black titanium color for the crossguard and for the metal butt cap at the end. And you will notice it has a lanyard hole there, so you could put a lanyard through there, wrap your hand on it, so in case the knife falls, you don't lose it. It's got a very comfortable handle. It's a very grippy handle, and it's a very comfortable one. It's got these finger grooves, which, well, by coincidence, perfectly fit my hand. I can really... Oh, and if you're wondering what's on my hand, this is actually spray paint. I'm Canadian, and I was spray painting a Canadian flag on my garage wall, right? Why not be a patriot? And essentially, I tripped, fell onto the spray paint, and my hand went up when I fell, and I landed on the wall like that. And now that paint still ain't fucking coming off. Yeah, so that's what that's about. But like I was saying about the grip, it's a very generous grip. Totally by coincidence, my hand fits perfectly on there. It feels very comfortable, and the grip is covered by these tiny little rubbery studs. And, you know, that's just going to further ensure that you're not going to lose this knife for whatever purpose you're using it for. Now, another thing I like is that if this was a combat situation, now, yes, I know, now, I'm sure that there's always going to be some kind of a troll somewhere. So I'm going to start off by saying, yes, I know I'm fat. Yes, I know I'm a soldier. You don't have to make fun of me and say that I'm some fat loser who doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm not a mall ninja, okay? I have these because I like to collect them. A mall ninja is some geeky little kid who buys those fantasy crap weapons from Green Earth and runs around like a fucking fool. But, yeah, in a combat situation, this handle feels like it will be useful because it allows you to quickly rotate your hand without it somehow getting in the way. Because, you know, some knife handles for knife collectors out there, you'll know that sometimes it's very hard to shift your hand to, like, this kind of a position where you can thrust, slice, you know, strike. But this one doesn't have that problem. It's very comfortable, so you can hold it tight like that. Now, I wouldn't baton with this, but if anybody out there has the money to blow, I think it was $130, and that was on sale, $130 on a knife, and then totally ruining it outside. It's up to you. It's your money, but I'm not doing that. So don't expect to see an outdoors review of this knife. But if any of you want to do that, I'm sure it would baton. But the one problem that I see about that is the serrations. Your batoning stick would probably get stuck in here and chewed up. But like I was saying about the handle, it's very comfortable. So if you are going to baton, you can hold it tight while you know, work your way through whatever wood you're trying to chop. Now, it has a straight edge blade. I believe the blade's about 7 inches long, which is pretty good for a fighting knife, pretty common length. And it's unsharpened here, which I like, because it kind of acts as a choil. So let's say you want to choke up on there for whatever reason, you can. Maybe get your fingers really tight on that crossguard, choke up a lot. Maybe if you want to get shavings going for your fire, that will allow you to choke up and get more control. But yeah, straight edge blade, drop point style, full serrations on the back, which are very nice. Now, of course, in my eyes, this is like a combat knife. It's something that a soldier in Vietnam would have used to kill Charlie, kill the Viet Cong. You know, fucking. If any of you play Call of Duty Black Ops, I played it when I was younger. I remember this one scene where they're using a knife very similar to this, if not the exact same thing. And they're swimming through, what was it? Like a lake or a creek or some crap in Vietnam in the game. And they come up to a Viet Cong who is standing on a sampan, which is a small boat which comes from Asia. It's like for fishing and stuff. They pull him off it, rip him into the water, and rip his whole neck open. So that's the image I have of this knife. It is a combat knife used for badasses who had enough balls to go to Vietnam and not be a draft dodger, and they fucking fought for America with this, and they fucking kicked ass. So the blade is steel, actually. I believe it is MCROV or whatever. It could be that, or it could be AUS 8, I believe. It is either one of those, but needless to say, it is a carbon steel, which is very tough and it's easy to sharpen. However, it's not the most rust resistant from what I hear. I could be wrong about that, but that's just what I hear. So when using this knife, I highly recommend that you try and keep it away from water. There you see is the assembly of the metal butt cap, so if you want to, you could take this apart, but I'm not going to. So yeah, all in all, I'd say a pretty solid knife. Now, you know what? We're not going to test it outside, but what we can do is do a paper test. Why not, right? Test in some kind of way. Oh, and if you are wondering what the SOG, the whole SOG thing's about, if you want to pause your screen, you can read that right now. Hopefully you can read my writing. But that's essentially what the whole SOG thing's about, and how the knife company came to be, and who was the original SOG and all that. You can pause it right now if you want. I know this isn't drawing time, but I figure, why not show you guys that? What do you think? It was freehand. Brian Griffin. Okay, that's out of the way. Alright, so here's a piece of paper. Let's do the paper test. Pretty clean. Kind of a rough paper test given the paper isn't very thick, but I think it did pretty good. So there you go, guys. Before I run out of video space or time, this is the SOG demo. An amazing knife made by SOG Specialty Knives. Cost me $130 from Amazon.ca, that's the Canadian site. And I would highly recommend this to anybody who's a history buff, a knife collector, or, even though I wouldn't use it outside, an outdoorsman. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, leave a nice comment, and if you want to troll me online, go fuck yourselves.